Okay, let's talk Final Fantasy VII Compilation. So, Final Fantasy VII is one of the most popular titles of all time, and it is also known as the most popular RPG title in the RPG history. And it is the longest running Final Fantasy game. It's been running since 1997 till, well, God knows when. There has been a lot of remakes in the Final Fantasy VII games, including a remake to the film Advanced Children to Advanced Children Complete to kind of give you an extra content to the game. Also, there is the very notorious Final Fantasy VII tech demo that we have no idea when it's coming out. But let's go over the storyline. I guess I'm gonna be going game according to the storyline and not according to the release dates, because this is gonna be a little bit confusing, so bear with me. The story of Final Fantasy VII starts from the game called Final Fantasy Before Crisis, and it's a mobile game that came in I think either 2003 or 4 or 5, in that range, and basically featured or talked about the characters of Shinra, I guess more of Shinra's activities. At the time, Cloud was only 14 years old, and I don't think he was the star of the game. I haven't really played the game since it never gotten out of Japan, so it stayed only in Japan. We go to the next game in the storyline, which is Crisis Core, that came in 2000 and almost 8 on the PSP, 2009, that range. And well, it talks about also, again, before the main events of Final Fantasy VII, starring Zack Fair. It's personally, Crisis Core is my favorite Final Fantasy game in the whole series. It's more lighter, fun, and it kind of also reveals a lot of things regarding the Final Fantasy VII game, and it's one of the most very popular titles on the PSP. Moving on a bit, there is Final Fantasy The Last Order, which is an OVA that came in 2005, and it came as a special with Advanced Children movie, but the OVA itself kind of talks more about when Sephiroth has found Jenova in Nibelheim. It kind of talks more about that part. It's about 25 minutes, but it kind of gives you an interesting look about Final Fantasy VII characters if they were in anime form. The anime was done by Madhouse, and the anime itself, at that time, it was extremely good. Very high quality, same quality of 2011 animes. Then we have the original Final Fantasy VII that came in 1997 on the PlayStation 1, and it came in 1998 on the PC. Originally it was planned for Nintendo's home console, but at the time the PlayStation was the most powerful gaming console at the time, so the team have spent about 3 years working on it after Final Fantasy VI, and it came later on in 3 CDs, which is the time was really big, very first Final Fantasy game in 3D, and also introducing a new theme, because most from Final Fantasy from 1 to 6 were kind of more like middle-aged sort of theme, but this one was more futuristic and its own world again, because Final Fantasy is always set in its own world, but this one is more futuristic, more military-ish, more advanced than other previous Final Fantasy games in the world setting. Moving on, we move to Advanced Children, the movie. There are 2 versions of the movie. The first one came in 2005, the Advanced Children, which The Last Order Specialist came in, I talked about a little ago. And then Advanced Children Complete, which introduced 30 more minutes of extra footage. And it's also kind of a remake for the original movie, more polished, makes the 2005 version more polished, more cleaner, but the complete version does answer a lot of my questions, because in the first movie that I saw in 2000, that came 2005, I had like lots of questions, but the complete one answers all these questions. And also with the game came a special overall called Damsel Hope, I believe, or Damsel something. It's basically another animation to the animation. that tells the story of Damsel, one of the characters of Final Fantasy VII, the movie, because he only popped in the movie and he didn't pop in the original games. And he kind of tells a bit about his past and how did he came to know Cloud and the rest. It is kind of an extra, and unlike The Lost Order, which was done by Madhouse and was really good, this other OVA was kind of disappointing. I did not like the art style in general. It wasn't the best. It wasn't what I expected. I wanted to see something as good as The Lost Order, because The Lost Order, even though it came in 2005, it has a very great quality that matches with today's AMAs. Then we have Final Fantasy VII DOC, or Dagger of Service, I believe it's called, and it came in 2006 on the PlayStation 2. Basically, it tells the story after the movie by I think about a year or so. It stars Vincent Valentine. It's very different from the previous Final Fantasies because this one actually is a third-person shooter, so it was kind of hard. I won't say that the story was the greatest, but it did continue on a certain aspect of Final Fantasy VII, which again, kind of, I guess, ends in an open ending. So it kind of says that the story will be continued after Final Fantasy VII DOC in kind of this way. So yep, it's a bit confusing, and the way that it's kind of organized, it's a little odd, but it's Final Fantasy VII, you know. 7 is a lucky number, and it's, you know, one of the greatest games of all time, and it's one of my favorites. And it has a history, and it have shaped a lot of the RPG games that we're playing right now. That's it. I'll see you in another video. See you later. Bye bye.